Love this guy. Okay.
Well, thanks for hanging in with us, everybody. Two more to go, so we'll get started here. My name is Brett Williams. I am the newest librarian here at Indian River State College, and I am presenting with Alexis today. Mia and Angie are both out of town. Angie's actually out of the country, so you will not hear their lovely voices today. But yes, we do want to talk to you about news literacy and kind of how we've been tackling the issue here at Indian River State College. So a little background on the problem. We are all probably well aware of everything that's been going on the past few months with the highly heated, polarized elections season and all the fake news stories that came out throughout that. So we, as librarians, just mingling with other teaching faculty on campus, started hearing some rumblings, and there were a few faculty who actually, voiced very strong concerns and well-written letters, kind of wondering, talking out loud, how to address this issue. And so as librarians, we've kind of taken on our task to teach evaluation to library users. So this is kind of where we started.
So for some of the faculty here and probably our students, it may seem like a new issue, but librarians have worked long on helping students evaluate information sources. So you might remember a couple of these websites we used to use back in the day. I used the one on the right in my information literacy class. For students to look at and evaluate it and tell me whether or not this information was true or not. And people would look at these websites, they're well done, but the information given on them is completely untrue and can't be verified once you start searching other internet sources for it. So this past year has made the problem more important of fake news apparent to people as a result of the accusations about voting in the last presidential race and popular current news stories about the rampant spread of fake news through social media. So I used to use these websites to teach students the danger of not evaluating a source before taking it at face value, but both are a little too contrived to really teach the students the granular nature involved in evaluating a source's value. The one about Christopher Columbus, once you start reading it, it says he's born in 1951, he came from Sydney, Australia. And for a college student, those facts are just completely out there, whack, crazy, not true. And, it was just kind of hard to use these websites anymore to say, this is why you need to be aware of fake news.
So in discussing with the other librarians how we need to handle this or how we should tackle this issue now, we came up with a few solutions. So we started creating a news literacy LibGuide, and we went ahead and linked the LibGuide in the chat there for you if you want to go ahead and click over and see what we've created. We also have on campus the Institute for Academic Excellence, where faculty members get together and create presentations and then present to other faculty members. So we decided this would be a good opportunity to engage the faculty, talk about some of the issues that we've been hearing, going around, and then actually hear feedback from them, how we, should be addressing it as, a college as a whole, and start kind of tackling this. And then the librarians also teach 1 credit hour courses each semester. And this semester, Alexis and I both taught the course, and we decided to kind of incorporate some news literacy elements into our 1 credit hour classes. And the feedback that I've received from my students, the ones who've turned it in so far, it's been well received, and they actually did a pretty good job on the assignment. So that was kind of nice. And then, of course, we're incorporating more literacy into our one-shot library instruction session. So we're kind of emphasizing evaluating sources more than just, how to use the databases.
So this is an example from our one-shot instruction where faculty fill out an instruction request form they can find online. And the top part was related to our Big Read project that we did. We had come up with an instruction on how to do StoryCorps that faculty can incorporate into their class, either on their own or with the librarian's help. So we decided that we can continue using this little one-line part of our instruction request form to incorporate current topics that we might be able to teach students about that the professors may not realize when they're filling out these forms. So we added a one-line description as a way to advertise our specialized knowledge and ability to bring the information to students. With the interest in the fake news this past year, we have updated our instruction form to allow faculty to select that as the current offering we have available for the students for the following year. So faculty were already adding to the description of what they wanted librarians to cover in their classroom. They would put it at the bottom, oh, cover fake news too. So it's kind of like faculty telling us we needed this extra option in the form, and now we have it there to see how many professors we can get to incorporate the more stringent evaluation of information with more specific examples of fake news in the class. Did something happen? Hello? Kendra, are you there?
I don't know. Yeah. Just a second.
Awesome.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's okay. I'll just wait.
Oh yeah, that's a good move. Good move. So we're obviously experiencing some technical difficulties right this moment. Just a moment. Okay, who is drawing on the whiteboard? This is not helpful. Thanks.
Someone was bored.
I'm trying to get us back to our slides.
We're almost there. Oh, thank you.
There we go. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. So now that we know how to do math, no, we're on that one. Yeah.
Results. We're on the results.
Oh yeah. Let's catch back up. There we
Okay.
go. Okay. So now we're back on track. All right. So just some early results. So far, since we've created our LibGuide on news literacy, which was, I believe we sent it live at the end of February, beginning of March. We've had 678 views when we created this slideshow. Now, hopefully have more now that everybody who's in the presentation has clicked. Thank you very much. Out of our Institute for Academic Excellence presentation, we had 18 participants and 2 specific requests for news literacy instruction, which was pretty nice. And both of those requests came from a faculty member who normally did not utilize library instruction, from what I understand. So that was good. Of course, we've incorporated our news literacy into our LIS 1002 assignments. And then, of course, we've also been incorporating it into our traditional library instruction session. I've had 4 requests from faculty members to incorporate it into the traditional instruction session, which has been nice. We'll try to get our slides back up.
Do we know what's going on? I'll take a break.
While we're getting our slides back up, does anybody have any questions so far?
Thank you. Oh.
I don't know, guys. I tried to get.
I'm just trying to get to the slide.
I know.
Almost there. Technology, right? I do not know the answer to that. The question was if there was talk about incorporating this into the LIS 2004 revamp that is going on. I do not know. I'm not sure if Alexis knows or not.
Yay. Good
There we
job.
go. Okay.
Don't do it again.
Uh,
Okay, we're almost done. Damn it. Oh, God.
There we go.
Stay there.
Okay.
Okay. So this is an example of some of those stories that you find very easily through Facebook. So using these easy to find real fake news stories on Facebook, we can show students the differences in a source truthfulness. These represent 3 of the more popular fake news articles students should be able to recognize easily. And the first is a Facebook post about a woman who was videotaped, a stranger desecrating her mother's grave, and a newspaper picked it up and it went viral. And you get a lot of these news stories, oh, this happened, or someone covered my daughter's windshield with a t-shirt and there was a running car next to her, and when she came out of her store, you know, she was almost kidnapped and all this stuff. So those kinds of stories aren't ever always proven to be faked, but a lot of times they do go viral, and then the original poster pulled it down, and then people who consult, you know, the police in that town find out they're not really sure if this is real or not. It wasn't reported to the police. No one comes out and says it was fake. So it's kind of hard to prove whether or not these things are happening or if someone's making them up. The next is a story that's kind of true. So it's talking about pesticides that's very dangerous, and Europe has banned these pesticides, but America has not. So it is true that pesticides are dangerous, but there's not a direct link proven to be found between the pesticides and the killing of bees. So they take some true facts and mix them in, and then of course the headlines of the story make you think it's very desperate, and in that it is proven. The third one is completely false, and it comes about the nuclear reactor in Fukushima, Japan, when the tsunami hit. And there are allegedly pictures of 60 animals who have tumors caused by, you know, the pollution caused by the nuclear reactor disaster. So of course they do think maybe that disaster will have an effect on marine life or the environment, but these pictures themselves were shown to have been taken years before that actually happened, and they're not a cause from the disaster. So these are some examples of the things that I've been showing in the LIS 1002 class, and getting students to look up the the news agency that's posted along with it, and then just not to instantly share things like this. Also showing them the Snopes website. Some of them will come across it when they're doing the research in class to figure out if these are true. But a lot of students don't know about Snopes. So it's good to show them that there is a place they can go that will tell them very quickly whether or not these stories are true or not. Because of course, people are not going to go through, the huge crap tests on every Facebook news story before they share it. But Snopes is a very quick and easy thing to do, especially if something is false. You'll find out pretty quickly that it is.
Okay, so our plan for the future, we're just going to keep on keeping on. We're going to keep offering our news literacy instruction to faculty in the one-shots. Hopefully we'll be able to develop more specific directed instruction sessions with feedback from the faculty that have already kind of incorporated it into their sessions, so that'll be helpful. And in our LibGuide, if you've had a chance to go over and look through, one of the tools that we are using is a software called Guide on the Side, where we can make web tutorials that run along in the same web browser window and run alongside a web page. So we're hoping to utilize more of those to allow faculty to embed some of these tutorials into the blended classes and online classes, so the students can actually, it can become more of a flipped model where students can do these tutorials on their own, and then the librarians can come in and we can talk about it and hit any issues that maybe they seem to struggle with. And then after the presentation in the IAE, a lot of the feedback was they wished that we gave more than just one session. So going forward in the fall, we're probably going to offer the news literacy session again at least once, maybe twice, so we can get more faculty participation and more discussion going on campus.
So just to give you an idea of how you can get started in gathering these more authentic examples of problems students may encounter rather than using a contrived fake known website, or even one that news stories that are just fake. In the beginning of a major news story, start taking screenshots of events as they unfold. You can use the collection of the news stories to show the development of a more researched analysis of the problem. Following the story from the start allows you to better track inaccuracies that were initially taken as fact and help to show students how reputable news sources can spread rumors when racing to be the first to share facts that were not thoroughly verified or exacerbated by experts' too early opinion. And that happens a lot at the beginning of a major news cycle where people, say this is the cause of it, and then you find out later, of course, no, it wasn't. You might forget that people had this early opinion if you don't, keep track of the story from the start. And then some of the news may go away as these theories are disproven. So these headlines show some of the extreme news headlines after Melissa Zimros published her very popular false, misleading, clickbaity, and satirical news sources list, which she has since taken down. And that was because some of the nasty things that were going around about her on the internet. These are some of those stories.
And that brings us to the end. So here's our contact information if you would like to send us an email. We did put our LibGuides, we put a Creative Commons license on that, so feel free to use any of the resources you see on there. We'll be happy to share any of our information that we found. And we do have a list of resources and references on our LibGuide as well. So does anybody have any further questions that we didn't get to in the time that we were trying to find our slides again?
I don't know what to say, guys. I'm so sorry. Still have no
Yeah.
idea what exactly.
It's all right. You
No,
know,
it was
just
fun.
put it out.
Thanks for rolling with it.
It made us make time. Is anyone doing fake news at their library?
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.